Hey, how you doing? I'm Dan, and this is Dan's 30-foot dory bill. I'm doing a small video today on a couple items I have purchased lately. I had made videos on it on my other system, and I can't upload them, so I'm back on my iPhone. So please just bear with me. I went down to my local fiberglass shop, if you like to call it that, and acknowledge myself on the cost of fiberglass and the products I need. Now on my 30-foot dory bill, the products I need is a 6-ounce mat, 2 layers of it. So I went down there to check this out, and I ended up purchasing 128 lineal feet of this stuff for 2 full layers to go over the hull of my boat. Now, as I started talking to the gentleman there, and he was starting to enlighten me about possibilities of gathering. That's where you go from a wide area to a narrow area, and your excess material starts to get really wavy, and you can't get rid of it. So I never thought about this. So what he suggested to me is that I cut out the fiberglass the shape of the boat. So for instance, the bottom of your boat, as it goes from wide to narrow, which towards the stem, you actually cut the fiberglass out from the center overlap of the boat and then out around the edge of the boat. Now, taking the material that comes off that, you flip it over and run that on the outside edge, leaving a gap, a 2-inch gap, between the material around the radius, the edge of your boat. And I thought that was a little odd. So as he started to explain this to me, he pulled this out. Now this is 6-ounce, 3-inch tape. It's fiberglass, 6-ounce, 3 inches tape. So what he's suggesting is that by cutting the material and running this tape over the edge, overlapping the fiberglass on the bottom and the side with this, you reduce the gathering at the stem of the boat. And I thought about it, and I thought, you know what, for the cost, I purchased it. So I'm going to give it a shot when I do my first half of the boat, and we'll see what happens with it. If it goes well, no problem, because that material does have to go somewhere. So I had purchased 45 meters of it, should cover all the edges of my 30-foot dory. So that'll be great. So then I turned around and I asked him, I said, well, you're going to end up with 4 layers of this material going over the main fiberglassing 6-ounce glass on the bottom and on the side. He says, well, then, of course, you're going to have a little bit of fairing to do. Well, fair. So I'm going to give that a shot when I lay up my first half of the boat, and I'm going to see what's going to happen. He also mentioned that it may not have as much wastage, meaning I can take material and apply it to other parts of the boat. Okay, to reinforce certain, maybe you want to reinforce the back corners, the stern, the transom area, and reinforce it, and then just spare that in and make it all look good and even after sanding. That's right, that's our next topic. So there's a food for thought, okay? So I've got my fiberglass. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually going to spend the rest of the winter collecting the resin. I'm going to try to get, well, the way it works out, I got to get at least 10 gallons. Should do the entire hull on the outside of the boat. And after that is done, I have to look into bottom paint. Now, I'm going to go with, now I found out you can get flat and you can get shiny bottom paint. I'll probably be going with the flat because that's the part of the boat that obviously gets scraped the most. If you're pulling it up on the trailer, or you're launching it, running her up onto a beachhead or something, you know. And I just figure flat won't look as bad if it starts to get scratched up. So that's where we're going with that. Now here's another interesting thing. Now I'm about to move the camera back, so bear with me a little. There we go. Now, sanders. I have got palm sanders. I also have square sanders, palm sander. I've never really needed a belt sander before, so I've been watching videos just like everybody else, and I look up belt sanders. Well, there is a purpose for a belt sander, and there's probably a good reason to have a belt sander. Now in this case, it's for going over large areas with a continuous rotation of the belt, which sands easier and much faster than something that's rotating in one spot, giving you more even sanding. Does that make sense? That's what I've gotten from the videos that I've been watching. So, I have extensively did some homework on inexpensive belt sander and expensive belt sanders. Now, the first thing I had to ask myself is, how often am I going to use this belt sander? Now, I'm going to buy it for this project, but am I seriously going to use it when? I don't know. I'm not always working with wood anymore. Well, in this case, I should get back into it because I've got all these tools now. It's a shame not to be using it. Another topic. So after extensively checking out YouTube and seeing what they have to say, which is like from here to here, you have to make your own, you got to make your own judgment on what you want to spend. Now, number one, budget. Can you go out and buy a $600 sander? Or can you go out and buy a $100 sander? Is the $600 sander better than the $90 sander? You got to look into this, guys, because I did this myself, and I really went into this, and I'm not the $600 sander kind of guy. I'm only going to use it for this boat. That's my aim. I want to get this dory done. I want to get it sanded out and out of the way. Now, I got good arms, but I'm getting older. I've been using them for years. My shoulders hurt. And sanding with a palm sander would be nice, but it wouldn't be very quick. So now I got to prolong the process of sanding. Belt sander. I can just hold it there and just move it along. Just move it around. No lifting, just guiding it where I want to. That's easier on my shoulders. So it was an attractive idea. So finally, I did turn around after checking out YouTube and seeing them, hearing them run, hearing the comments everybody had to say, and I settled for an inexpensive belt sander. Based on the fact that I needed to finish my boat. And that's the only concern I have with the belt sander at this time. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it because I'm only going to use it to sand this 30-foot dory. Now, once I've used this belt sander to completely sand this before and after it's fiberglass, that's as long as I need this machine to last. That's what I'm looking at here, okay? I'm not looking at the future. I'm looking at, can this sand my entire boat and the fiberglass to a finish that is acceptable in good time. Okay, so I bought here a tool that I've never purchased before. I bought a belt sander. I also bought something, I believe they call it a WEN. W-E-N. I've seen these tools on Facebook. I've seen them on YouTube. People are using their tools WEN. Now, they're considered low quality, okay? Because the one I purchased came out to $90 on Amazon. So after I purchased it, I don't know, I brought it down into my little corner shop down here where I do my models and build my planes, and I plugged it in, and I thought, let's see how this sucker works. Well, my God, I tell you something, I'll have to use earplugs and ear defenders in order to use this belt sander. Now, this is it. This is it. You see that? That belt is 3x21. They give you 80 grit with it, 2 belts. Now here's a little dust collector here. You can move it around, but this is, as far as I can tell, this is the way it's installed. Okay, you see the name there? Okay, so I plug this in. I'm not going to plug it in for you, okay? Believe me, this sounds like a Corsair running up in a static display. Have you ever stand by a Corsair while it starts its engine up? All 2,100 horse, 18 cylinders rolling around. I've done it. I've been there, like right there, listening to this beautiful engine running, and it's loud. This is loud. Okay, I mean, it's painfully loud. I may have to only use it for a certain amount of time, then stop just to give the neighbors a chance to recuperate. I don't know why it's so loud. But for $90, I plug it in. It runs. Okay? 90 bucks. I mean, look at it. It's all... Okay, now here's your working surface right here. From here to here, right? That's your working surface. So I'm going to gamble that this is going to hopefully finish the sanding job for me. And I can get different grits. This is 80. I plan to get 60, and that's about as fine as I'm going to get for the wood hull and the fiberglass finishing. I'll finish with a 60, but it doesn't come with 60. So it comes with two belts. One is on the machine, and the other one comes in the box. It also comes with two clamps, because you can clamp it upside down on the work table here and here, and you can use it this way, upside down, so it doesn't move. So you can use it as a table sander. But I got one of these, so I won't have to do that. I shouldn't have to do that. So anyway, you get the idea. So this thing is fairly large. It weighs in at about 13 pounds, maybe 10 pounds, maybe 10. So it's not the heaviest thing. But then again, remember, you're using it on a flat surface, and all you're doing is guiding it. Okay? So it should be easy enough to use. And I really hope... Now the entire unit, from what I can see, is all plastic. It's all molded plastic. And your plate on the bottom is aluminum or steel. And your rollers on the side guides are also steel, plate steel. I should really plug this in just to give you an idea, but, well, look at that. I have a plug right behind me. I'm going to plug it in. Give me a second, please. You're going to enjoy this. Now, I don't know if you're going to get the same quality of sound over the phone speakers. I'm going to be sitting here running this, but I just want to give you an idea how loud it is. Now, here's something I just want to mention. I just plugged it in, and I didn't know if the trigger was locked in place, and this is how I was holding it. So what I'm saying is, if it was running, I would have lost it. It would have flew out of my hand. I would have sent it. Make sure you're holding this properly, or at least make sure the trigger is not set on when you plug it in. Okay, so here we go. You ready for this? I'm sorry, what's that? Yes, I told you, get your protection, right. You got the idea. Okay, now it's also vertical speed. I can go from real slow to real fast. Now there's a little knobby here that will allow you to fine step that. There's your lock button. You got to lock that in, then you can adjust it. So that's kind of neat. Instead of just going one speed, you can slow it down or speed it up. Because sometimes you don't want to sand too fast because it just defeats the purpose. You just not the same effect. So I got it aligned. Obviously, I tried this out before I made this video. So it's loud. I don't know if they're supposed to be that loud, because on YouTube, some of the ones I heard, they ran them, and they weren't that loud. So I don't know if it's the type of motor they have in here, the bearings, but it certainly seems heavy enough, and it seems to be well built. But I have never bought a wind tool before, never. So this is my first wind tool. So hopefully I win. can't wait to use this. I have to wait until spring. I got 6 months of winter. Well, it's going to be a hard winter. Anyway, let me unplug this for you. Oh, sorry about that. The dust collector came loose. You can also stick a vacuum cleaner on there. It comes with 2 adapters. I should have mentioned that right away. It comes with 2 adapters that fit on that little port that holds that dust collector on. So you can actually put a vacuum cleaner on, a shop vac or something like that. Pretty handy if you got enough hose to use it. Less dust the better, right? Yeah. So, other than the fiberglass and this pretty cool tool that I've just tried here, I'm ready to go. I have DeWalt palm sanders. I'm sure you know what that is. I'm not going to go over there and get it. And a few more other tools, but I mean, those are just everyday tools, you know, square sander, palm sander, the DeWalt oscillating palm sander, they call that one. I have that. So I've got a couple of hand tools I can certainly get in there and use, other than the fact that I have this wind now. And I'm really anxious to use it, but I definitely have to wear ear protection. I can see that getting annoying real quick. Yeah, so that tool's on Amazon. I had it shipped to my door for $90. Now, is the price right? I don't know. Is the tool going to work? I don't know. Theoretically, yes, the price was right, and theoretically, if they manufacture a tool, it should work. How long? We're going to find out next spring. So, until I come up with a different tool or some more products to talk to you about, this is Dan with Dan's 30-Foot Dory Bill. I hope you're enjoying watching my series. As I mentioned earlier, and I'm starting to weed this out now. I'm still using my iPhone. I have a video recorder, and I can't upload because the Vivitar I'm using is no longer allowing me to upload the videos to my YouTube channel. So anyway, that being said, it's not important. As long as I'm getting you some information on what I'm doing, that's all that counts. The phone works. The lighting is good in here. The lens is cracked, so you're not getting any haze in there because it's not sunny outside. I'm in my comfort of my basement, and we're doing it right. All right, so unfortunately, we do have winter here. I knew it was coming. My goal this summer for 2021 was to actually get the dory built. I have it built. I got the bottoms in, sides are all screwed in there. The only thing left to do, like I say, is to fiberglass it, bottom paint, flip it over, and decide how far I want to go with finishing the interior of this boat. I mean, I can keep it like just a giant rowboat, or I can start closing it in, which I would like to do, but I may not be doing that right away. So thank you very much. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, and if you wish to want to help me out, I do have a Patreon going on, and the link below. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you real soon. Here's Dan out. Have a good day.